I realized that like, um, the room around me, like the light, let's take the light for example, the light I noticed wasn't natural. I should have seen the sky behind me. I should have seen the clouds. I should have seen the rolling hills and the plains, but I didn't see that. And after I kind of took that in, I looked at the space, like the blackness around the rectangle of light. And I realized that it wasn't just like dark, like I was in a dark room. It was like the vastness of space, like how it just went on forever and ever and ever. And there was no solidity at all to it. But I remember that I was laying on something and I kind of like looked around with my eyes and there was no floor there. Like I should have seen no, like if I was in a room, I should have seen walls, ceiling, floor, but there was nothing but that darkness, that space, but something was holding me up. And so I knew that I was in this in-between space where I was at the ranch because it looked like the ranch, but it had changed to where there was a life behind the life. Like it was a being behind the being, an existence behind the existence, right? And so as I kind of took that in, it hit me that this light that was pouring in wasn't just light, it was life itself. It was love. And everything else around it, that space, that vastness was the space where life and light could exist. And it was like in that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, this is what they call heaven. This is what they would call heaven. This is what they would call what happens afterwards, right? And I realized taking that in, I was overwhelmed by that understanding that, oh my gosh, I know this profound truth. And this overwhelming sensation of love just came from inside. It absolutely overwhelmed me. And so much made sense. Like I knew that life and light itself and dark and space where life could exist was held together by love. And it was just the most profound, beautiful, magical experience ever. And I remember it's almost like this understanding burst from within me, and I knew that lived within me. It wasn't just outside, it like came from in me. We were one. And so like love is that oneness, right? And so it took maybe a few moments to realize all that, really take it in. And I remember looking back at that figure and things had changed within. And I remember asking, is this heaven? Am I dying? Like what's happening? And again, this overwhelming peace came over me, and I was overwhelmed with joy and love. I realized there was no fear where I was. Like there was no fear, anxiety, anger. There was nothing but love there in that experience, in that presence. And so I realized, oh my gosh, this is what life is supposed to be like. This is the beginning, the end. This is what life's about. I looked back at the figure, and I became aware that I had a voice within because I heard a voice from that figure. I knew it came from that figure. I know people talk about this all the time in NDEs, and we can never put it to words, but it's like I knew that voice within was coming from that figure, right? That being. And it asked me, are you ready? And I said yes. And when I said yes, it meant that no matter where I went, no matter what was going to happen after I said yes and where we went, I was okay with it because love was in me. It was going to be where I was. Like I was completely fine with dying or going wherever we were going to go. And I remember that something shifted within me, and I fell into this beautiful space within. It's like endless love. I don't really know how to explain it other than this endless love. And as I did, I remember passing. It's almost like a force field. It's like I passed through this force field. It was like there's this existence of love, and it's almost like I passed through this force field where fear could exist. Like fear couldn't exist outside of here, right? But fear could exist over here. And I believe that's where I went back into my body.